Okay, let's recap with a part three. I made part one and part two, I believe, last Friday or Saturday, and it's now Tuesday. So, to recap, um, for one, it was Zach's birthday on Friday, and we celebrated with my parents. He got a bunch of gifts on his birthday, and we just had a really relaxing weekend. Um, Thing two, in the last week, since last Thursday, I've been home struggling with some serious anxiety. Um, it's a thing that happens every few months, every 6 months or so. I'll just have an anxiety attack followed by a few days, or like maybe even at one point, like last year or the year before, um, I had 2 whole weeks away from work because I couldn't even get out of bed. It has a lot to do with my chronic illness. I know that I've mentioned that before in my videos. I have a chronic illness. It has to do with mental health. It is a disability in my case. So I am restricted in a lot of ways in my life by things that I'm able to do, partake in. I don't drink. That's the biggest thing is like when I was younger, I would have like some drinks with friends and stuff, even if it was just like a glass of wine or two. And now it's been probably 3 years since I've had a drink. And before then, it was like 5 years before I had one. But our roommate and my husband were having a few beers one night, and I was just curious what it would be like to have one. So I had like a half a can of beer, and it was not a pretty story. I started feeling so sick because of the interaction with my medications. Like alcohol makes me so sick. It's like having a hangover before you're even finished with your drink. So that's what I felt like. Haven't had a drink since. So it's been like 3 years with that. But this time around, it was just, I get like they're technically called like mood swings. And so I just had kind of like a little mini one. It lasted less than a week, but it definitely affected me. I was not able to go to work Thursday and then until today. I just spoke with my workplace and I'm going back to work tomorrow, which is really exciting. It's just a 5 hour shift or 5.5 hour shift. So it should go by like super quick. I'm guessing there are going to be like no problems. There are not usually problems at the Bangor Y. And then I just wanted to recap last time, part one and part two, because in part two, I started getting really, really emotional. When I'm having these mood swings, I'm super sensitive to like emotions and like anything that could like throw me off. When I spoke with my doctor last Thursday, because I kind of had like an emergency telehealth call with her, just like expressing to her that like, I was feeling this way, getting some advice on what to do. Would it be okay to miss work in this instance? She gave me full permission to just tender love and care myself. She said do a ton of self-care, all the self-care this weekend. So I did that. I took baths, like I painted my nails, I cleaned the house. It got messy again, which I have to clean again today before I go back to work tomorrow. But I cleaned, I took care of myself, I took naps, I went to bed early every single night. I slept in as much as I could. While Zach was working, I wouldn't get up until like 7:30. Because some mornings, like this morning, we were up at 6:30, and it was just, today it was okay because I went to bed early last night. I felt well rested, and I was just ready to get the day started. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I felt like I was at like 85, 95%, like back to normal. Yesterday, I told my husband, I'm like, I'm like 99.9% there. And today, I'm 100%. So, it definitely started to show after a few days that I was starting to feel better. And, but most of all, I just rested, like hung out on my phone, cuddled with our kitty Charlotte, and I'll post some pictures on my YouTube page, on my community page of me and Charlotte cuddling. But I just had a totally me time for the last, 5 or 6 days, or 4 or 5 days anyways. And I know that it took a lot out of me, and there's no way that I'm going to zoom back into where I was before this thing happened. I'm definitely going to ease back into living my normal life. But it starts with making sure the house is clean. That was another thing my doctor really advised, to stick to my routine. So alongside picking up, showering, just the necessities, I was napping like every chance I got, like laying in bed, just relaxing and taking it easy. And I think the fact that I actually stuck to what my doctor said this time, instead of trying to push myself to go to the gym, to run errands, to go to Bangor, to go out shopping or something, whatever the case might be, like I didn't do those things this time around, and I am recovering so fast. So, in my last part 1 and part 2, I talked a little bit about my diet. Last time, about a month ago, I think it was, I weighed about 226. I don't think I recorded it in my calorie app, or my food tracking app. It's not just for calories, but in my in my food tracking app, I usually weigh myself and calculate and track my weight, not every single day, but usually on days that I've lost weight. And then if I'm feeling like it's like an acceptable number, I'll add that in too. So I am picky with what I put in for my weight, but there was a point about a month ago that I was weighing 226. So I'm down about 5 pounds in the matter of, 4 to 6 weeks. So that's pretty good for me. That's pretty consistent for me. I can't seem to get below 221. For some reason, it's just not happening. I don't think I'm getting the proper amount of protein and getting more carbs than I should, especially since I've been eating quite a bit of sweets lately. So I know that that's something that's going to have to change, even though I did have a piece of, it was like this like apple pie, like, what do you call those things? Parfait. It was like an apple pie parfait, and I had a banana with it, and I only literally ate like 3 bites of the sweet thing this morning for breakfast, but I didn't really have a lot with me, so I just went to the store and picked up something that looked good. I know that I should have gotten something with like eggs or like sausage or something like that instead, but I just went to the grocery store and picked up something super cheap, and like literally like a banana and the apple thing cost like less than $3. It was like $2.05. So I had that for breakfast. For lunch today, I'm gonna have my leftover dinner from last night, which is a kale and chicken salad. It's a shawarma chicken salad. It was really delicious. We made it with HelloFresh. I prepared it, and Zach ate most of his. All he had left was like some kale, and I had quite a bit of chicken left and a bunch of kale. It came with cucumbers, roasted carrots, and shallot, and almonds, and I even threw in a few walnuts to mine, and I'm really, really excited to eat that today, because I am just ready to, like, it's been a minute since I've been like full-heartedly into my weight loss diet, like, and I've been sticking to my yoga, and it's just been one thing after the other, it seems like, in the last month or two, with trying to stick to my workout routines, trying to stick to my diet. For the most part, my calories have been good. The highest they've been at all in the last like 3 months is like 1,700. And usually they're between like 1,400 and 1,500. My goal is 1,300. And last time I spoke with my nutritionist, which was, I can let you know that, that would have been in January. Let's see when it was. It was the 12th of, no, it was the 26th. So that's crazy. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, I've lost 5 pounds. So that's a pound a week, and that's pretty good. But so since the 26th of last month, I have probably stuck between like 1,000 and 1,500 calories almost every single day. And I can actually totally go back and at some point like get all the like statistics on my food tracking app, because it lets me know days that I've gone over and what percentage of the month I've actually been in the green for like not going over my calories. That's with or without exercise. And because I know sometimes when I have like burned like 400 or 500 calories and exercise in a day, that I actually eat a little extra just because I feel like I need the extra nutrients to like rebuild my muscles and stuff like that. Especially if I've done like if I've just done like yoga and house cleaning and stuff like that, like I try to keep my calories a little more minimal. But if I did like a heavy weightlifting, like 1 hour weights, cardio, and yoga in a day, and then on top of that did some cleaning and walk the dog, like I'm gonna eat a little extra food because I just need that energy. Food is a real fuel for me. Sorry, I have such a hard time talking. Honestly, it's like I don't even have a tongue. But sometimes that extra fuel in my system just gives me energy even for the next day to wake up in the morning. Like I notice on days that I eat less than 1,300 calories and have worked out that day, I go to bed feeling so grumpy and I wake up the next morning feeling sick. Because 1,300 calories is still pretty low. For a long time, I was on a 1,200 calorie diet, and just those 100 calories has made me feel so much more confident in like what I'm capable of because of the energy that it allows me to have. So I know that like max, I want to be at like 1,500 calories in a day. That's max. And that's maybe like once or twice a week. The rest of the time between 1,300 and 1,400 calories is perfect for me, just because like I know sticking to the same exact calorie amount every day will hinder your progress because your body will get used to that number. And so say you did 1,300 calories for 3 days. The next day you should do 1,500 calories. Go back to 1,300 calories. And then do 1,500 for 2 days. Stuff like that. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like called like calorie, I can't remember what it's called. But it's calorie something, and it's just like calorie fluctuation and making sure that you are getting the nutrients that you need, whether it's protein, carbs, or fats, or macronutrients, I should say. But also eating enough vegetables is really important because you want to get fiber in your body so you can go to the bathroom correctly. And for me, that's really, really important because I hate being backed up or constipated. It's just a really, really unpleasant situation, and I found that out firsthand about a month and a half ago when I had to go to the emergency room because I hadn't pooped in like almost 2 weeks. So it was just a really hard time for me, and I think that's where I'm coming back from now, is just like not starting over again, but like turning the next chapter for my diet and weight loss. And I think it all starts with getting the right macronutrients. I think that's ideal to get what I'm recommended to get. That's 120 grams of protein, 75 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. So that's pretty high protein if you ask me. My nutritionist says it's a moderate protein diet, but and high fat and moderate protein, moderate carb. But that's actually pretty low carb. Most people get like 125 grams of carbs a day. And usually that is what I get in a day, like on a normal day when I'm not really like being super like picky with what I'm eating. I'll eat between like 80 and like 95 grams of carbohydrates. Some days it's like 200, and that's like when I'm eating sweets and stuff. But it definitely is not, I would say it's a strict diet, but it's not in a way. Like it's particular, it's very sensitive because I know when I eat a certain way, my body feels a certain way. I feel more empowered when I'm eating like more protein, but I also feel more comfortable when I'm eating like normal macros, not these like specific macros to weight loss. So it's definitely a learning scale here for me. It's really, really fun and exciting to learn my body this way. And I'll also post some pictures in the community page of some progress pics that I've taken since I started my weight loss journey, since the summer to now, things like that. I'll post all those things. But I just wanted to jump on here and make a part 3 and fill you in on why I jumped off so quick on part 2. I was just feeling like ultra emotional and I did not want to cry on camera, to be honest. Like, I was driving, like I had so many distractions at that moment, like just going on in my own head, that the last thing I wanted to do was cry to you guys on camera. So I love you guys. Thank you for being so patient waiting for all these videos. All right, love you. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.